Hello, 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 hello. Man, I have been on a roll lately with the videos, and it's not stopping here. We are going to continue moving forward. I messed up the intro. Welcome back to yet another NFL video. Today, listen, man, there wasn't any real significant news circling around here, so I decided to not edit. I don't know if I've ever made a top five quarterbacks video. I've certainly made a video. Let me see. This is what's it called? Unprofessional by me. I should have known my own videos down, you know, down by heart, if you will. I feel like I've made some sort of video before. I definitely made the what's it called? The Patrick Mahomes comparison to Tom Brady. Did I make a video strictly comparing quarterbacks though? I'm not sure I ever have. Certainly have not in the last year, that is. If I did, maybe it would have been last off season. Oh, I did. Never mind. 10 months ago, I did the 18 best NFL quarterbacks. And, well, let me just say, well, have things changed a whole lot from then? I guess I'll be comparing at times. Actually, it is slightly different. Not really, though. Five of my top six are still the same. Interesting. All right, though. But let's get into the video, though. No holdups about it. That was completely unnecessary there, what I just did. But let's get straight into it. Thank you for watching, as always. And yeah, my top five quarterbacks in the NFL. I've seen this debate thrown out there recently, and I just wanted to give my take on it. So, number one, everybody's number one should be Patrick Mahomes. It is just the question really is just what would happen or have to happen in order for someone to eclipse Mahomes because he is so far ahead of the rest of the pack. And honestly, the guy that I see having the best chance would be Jalen Hurts because he's the only other guy with a Super Bowl. And on top of that, if we're just comparing the top five playoff performances of any quarterback in the NFL right now, it's Patrick Mahomes in his three Super Bowls, Jalen Hurts this recent year, and Jalen Hurts in 2022, where he lost to Mahomes. However, I do feel like he outperformed Mahomes in that game. So it's like Jalen Hurts does have two of the top five playoff performance runs of any quarterback in the NFL. And he's on a great team, of course, a better team at the moment than Patrick Mahomes. So I do think, Hurts could win at least one more Super Bowl, but all these other guys here with Mahomes talent wise, because let me put it like this. I feel like there's a top four, there's a number five, there's a number six, and then there's everybody else. That's the layout of this video. Just giving you a sneak peek, if you will. But Mahomes is clearly ahead of the rest of the pack, and he like so. The way I'm looking at this, right? I have a 3 year window, as you can see on that right hand side, of just regular season stats from the past three seasons because I cut it off at 3 years, right? Because I feel like 4 years, that's a long time. For example, 4 years ago, Aaron Rodgers was the MVP of the league. Now, nobody wants him besides the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's like 4 years. If I was to include 4 years back, that could be completely misleading. So I feel like 3 years is pretty accurate. Obviously, some quarterbacks have taken massive jumps in 1 year. They had a down year, but I feel like 3 years overall gives us a pretty good picture. Now, Patrick Mahomes has more yards than any other quarterback in the league. The last 3 years, he has the highest QB rating, which is different than passer rating. I don't know how, but it is different. He has the highest QB rating, and he does have the most regular season wins. Now, wins, um, they're not the most important stat, in my opinion. It is still a team stat, but it is important to include. It's important to consider in this debate. Now, in the bottom left there, I have my own metric system. I don't know how many All Pro seasons Mahomes have. It might be more than that, honestly. I have my own personal metric, my own grading system to determine Pro Bowls and All Pros. Now, maybe that makes me weird, but I feel like the way the NFL does it is just not good enough. So I came up with my own system for judging quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. So I might well, I might show you in another video, but just for your information, this is all according to my opinion. I believe Mahomes has had four all pro caliber seasons in his career and one Pro Bowl season in 2019. Now, it's important to note the last two seasons, at least in the regular season, I feel like Mahomes has been noticeably worse than the rest of his career. Maybe that's because the wide receiver room has not been up to par. Maybe it's because Travis Kelsey is not what he used to be. It could be for a number of reasons. Sorry, but Mahomes the last two seasons has not been what he was from 2018 to 2022. But he does still have three Super Bowl wins. He is by far and away the best playoff quarterback in the NFL. He has five Super Bowl appearances in his career. It's just ridiculous the amount of success he's had, and he is clearly just far ahead, the best quarterback in football, bar none. Now, number two was incredibly difficult. I decided to set on Josh Allen at number two because he kind of has a mix of everything. If you look at the last 3 years in terms of stats, he definitely puts them on the board. The most touchdowns of any quarterback over the last 3 years, a really good record. Second most yards, only to Mahomes. Turnovers are his biggest issue. He is more turnover prone than anybody else on this list. Um, but I feel like he does kind of make up for it with the touchdowns. Because if you look at his ratio, right, touchdowns to turnovers, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, same as Mahomes, like pretty much the exact same number. So I'm not really if turnovers do come back to bite you, they certainly do. But if you can make up for it in just overall production, I feel like it kind of evens itself out. Just like Mahomes, he has four All Pro caliber seasons, one Pro Bowl season. But it's interesting to note while Mahomes has taken a drop regular season wise the last 2 years, Josh Allen has been at one of his best levels these last two seasons. So it's just, I want to point that out how, Josh Allen over the last 2 years has been combined the best quarterback in football. Um, Also, he has the second most playoff wins of anybody on this list. He does have a winning record in the playoffs. He just cannot, for the life of him, beat Mahomes when it comes to the playoffs. But I just feel like Josh Allen, me, I, I think the important thing about here is to try not to be too biased towards last season, right? Because I do feel like Lamar, let me just get to it. I have Lamar at number three. I do feel like Lamar, and it's just statistically, it is a fact. Lamar was better than Josh Allen last season. But it is important to note, and I have not mentioned this yet, the level of talent around these guys, and specifically comparing Lamar to Josh Allen last season, for example. Lamar had the best running back in his conference. He had Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, both better receivers than Josh Allen had at all. And he had Mark Andrews, who, even though he had the horrible drop in the playoff game, he was a Pro Bowl level tight end last season. So he had two receivers that were better than anybody Josh Allen had, a better tight end, a better running back. So it's like, and it's just, he had way more help than Josh Allen last season, but he still was better statistically than Josh Allen. However, Lamar only has three playoff wins in his entire career, only has two all pro seasons. Now, he has missed a lot of time in two of his last four seasons, but I just feel like Josh Allen is more consistent, much more consistent. Now, Lamar last season was the best quarterback in football. I'm not denying that. However, I just feel like over the length of their careers, and especially in these last three seasons, let's look at the numbers here. Now, what does Lamar do? His passer rating is incredibly high, ridiculously high. Last season, he had one of the best passer ratings in NFL history. He does not turn the ball over often, but Josh Allen, 1,500 to 1,600 more yards, 32 more touchdowns than Lamar. Now, he has 19 more turnovers, so do with that what you will. But last season, Josh Allen showed you that he can still put up monster numbers even without the most help. Josh Allen did not have a single receiver or tight end on his team that was at a Pro Bowl level. Amari Cooper was good, not great while he was there. Khalil Shakir was good. Dalton Kincaid's good. He did not have a single Pro Bowl level pass catcher on his team. That was entirely Josh Allen, leading that offense to be as good as it was. And Lamar was amazing, but he had a lot of help on that offense around him. So I do have Josh Allen at number two, Lamar at number three. It is very close. I wouldn't be mad if you pick Lamar, but I just feel like it would be a little bit too recency bias based solely on last season. Now, I have Joe Burrow at number 4. He has 2 all-pro caliber seasons, in my opinion, 2024 last year and in 2022. Had a Pro Bowl season in 2021. Obviously, 2023, he missed time due to injury. He does have a 5-2 career playoff record. He's only made the playoffs twice, so who knows how good it could have been if he would just have more opportunities. He has the highest completion percentage of any quarterback over the last 3 years. His turnover ratio is better than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes compared to Lamar, actually. Is it better than Lamar? I think it is slightly better than Lamar as well. Passer rating over 100, very good. Joe Burrow does not win as many games, and it is a stark difference, I would say. And maybe it's just this. So Mahomes is clearly better, right? He's just clearly better than everybody else. Lamar and Josh Allen offer so much with their legs. They're so mobile. They're so dangerous getting out of the pocket. Joe Burrow is a strict pocket passer. He is sneaky athletic, but you're not going to game plan for Joe Burrow like you have to for Lamar or Josh Allen. Now, Joe Burrow is able to shred a defense, especially in the regular season, maybe better than anybody. He was the best pocket passer in the NFL last year. But I just don't feel like Joe Burrow has the same level of or the same what's it called? He doesn't have as many ways to hurt you as a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, and he has not won as many games, especially in the regular season, as anybody above him. Now, I think he is clearly number 4, and I think there is a definite drop to number 5. I do have Jalen Hurts at number 5. I feel like Hurts is getting a little bit too disrespected around the league. He only does have one all pro caliber season, in my opinion. That was in 2022, the year he could have won MVP if he did not miss 2 games at the end of the year. Has a 6-3 playoff record. And I did mention earlier, the 2 best playoff runs by a quarterback not named Patrick Mahomes do belong to, that does matter. He is the only Super Bowl champion in this entire argument besides Mahomes. I don't think Stafford's in this top 10, top 12 argument anymore in his career. I think he's a little bit too old, too washed. If you look at the numbers, Jalen Hurts does not lead in any category. That is a problem for me. And it's the same case with number 6. All these guys at number 4, they at least have something, right? And they also have at least 2 all-pro caliber seasons. Jalen Hurts only has 1 in his entire career, and he does not lead any category over these last 3 years. And his turnover to touchdown ratio is not it is the lowest, actually, of anybody on this top 5 list as well. So it's just he is not on the same level. And I do believe he has had a better roster around him, especially a defense. Not in 2023. It's weird. In 2022, 2024, he had the best defense in football. 2023, he had the worst defense in football. But this is the reason why. So like I said, I just think he's clearly less talented than everybody in the top 4. And also for this, I feel like if you were going to try and make the argument that he was better than anybody in the top 4, it would be Joe Burrow. And the main point of that argument would be that he's won more games and he has more Super Bowl appearances. This is my argument. I wholeheartedly believe if you replace Jalen Hurts with Joe Burrow, the Eagles win the Super Bowl in 2024. They may or may not have won the Super Bowl in 2022. But if you replace Jalen Hurts with Joe Burrow, I don't think the Bengals ever even make a Super Bowl. And I think their record probably is worse than it was last season. That's just my opinion. I do think it is a fact. I mean, there's no way to prove it, but I just feel like it's pretty easy to argue, if you will. It's no shade to Jalen Hurts, and he could rise up this list if he continues to win at the level that he can't control the talent around him. All he can do is produce when the moment comes and win the games that he should win. It is what it is. What could propel him up this list? All he has to do is keep winning, while the number 2 through 4 fail to get past Mahomes in the AFC. The benefit of this is Jalen Hurts being the only quarterback in the NFC who has any sort of playoff success. So, the top 4 are all competing against each other in the AFC, and Jalen Hurts just has a much easier path, if you will, to the Super Bowl each year. So yeah, I do think Jalen Hurts is kind of in the category of his own, still in the top 5. He is significantly worse than number 4, in my opinion, especially talent-wise, but he is significantly better than number 6 on my. I decided to include a number 6 because when I was doing the whole uh, organization of this list and I was trying to figure out who belongs in number five, I thought it was clearly Hurts, but then I felt that number six was clearly above everybody else in the league. So my number six would be Jared Goff. He does have one All Pro season. He's coming off the best season of his career last year in 2024, and he does have three Pro Bowl caliber years: 2023, 2022, and back 1 year with the Rams in 2018. So he's coming off three straight good seasons in a row, arguably getting better each of the last 3 years. The Lions have got better each of the last 3 years. The numbers similar to Hurts. He does not lead in any category. His turnover to touchdown ratio is slightly below everybody in the top forward numbers. His passer rating is incredibly high. The last 2 years, the Lions have been on an absolute tear in just terms of winning games. Now, in his career, he does have a losing record in the playoffs, and that's including multiple. That's including two really good Lions teams. That's including two or three really good Rams teams. So it's just Jared Goff has always kind of not been good enough when it comes to playoff time. But in the regular season, I feel like Jared Goff kind of is just above all these other guys in the league. And I do feel like Jalen Hurts is noticeably above Jared Goff, mainly because of that playoff success. Now, when I talk about everybody else, these are all of the honorable mentions here. And let's go through each of them individually. Baker, at first I had Baker at number 7, but I feel like that is just being too biased off the last 2 seasons. I think he had a Pro Bowl caliber year last year in Tampa, but that was the only one of his career. Now he had some not bad seasons in 2023. I think it was 2019 with the Browns, but I think Baker just needs more time to prove himself as a top level quarterback. And by the way, I think he will. I think Baker's stock is only going to continue to go up. I think he's in a perfect situation for himself with the Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels, it's just too early. He was great last year, but it's only been 1 year. Brock Purdy, he was really, really good in 2023. He was really good in 2022, even though it was a small sample size. Last year, he took a noticeable drop. So 10 months ago, I had him at number 4, above Lamar Jackson, mainly due to his playoff success. But he lost that last season, and now Lamar has lapped him pretty much. Sam Darnold, extremely biased based off last year. But he had a really good year last year. Dak Prescott, great year in 2023, but unfortunately for Dak, he is officially injury prone. 3 of the last 5 years, Dak Prescott has missed at least 5 games. I mean, that's only 2 out of his last 5 seasons where he's been healthy. It's just he needs to play back-to-back healthy seasons for me to consider him in a list like this. Geno, he's coming off he's coming off back-to-back above average seasons and a really good year back in 2022. I just don't think he really qualifies for a top 5, top 6, anything like that. Justin Herbert has the talent for it, but just kind of struggling to put together any sort of playoff success at all with the Chargers. And then Jordan Love, just based off the last 2 seasons, not enough. And also last year, he did have a noticeably worse season than he did in 2023. So those are all of the honorable mentions. Guys I left off this list, I chose to leave off the honorable mentions like Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud. I just don't feel like any of those guys really belong in this category, same as Tua, guys like that. So these are all the honorable mentions, and my official top list goes something like this. Patrick Mahomes, clearly above the rest of the pack. Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow, kind of interchangeable, but kind of not really in my 2, 3, and 4 range. Jalen Hurts, clearly in a lane of his own at number 5. And then Jared Goff below Jalen Hurts, but above everybody else at number 6. So that is going to be it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and I will be back before you know it with the next one. Peace.